Picture this: London, October 1979. The air is electric, not with the roar of a stadium, but with the hushed anticipation of a classical theater. While most rock stars are planning their next tour, Freddie Mercury, the god of rock himself, is about to do something completely outrageous. He's about to dance with the Royal Ballet. Yes, you heard that right. The man who commanded stadiums with a flick of his wrist and the power of his voice was trading his microphone for ballet shoes. This wasn't a music video or a stage gimmick. It was a one-night-only charity performance that would become one of the most legendary footnotes in his extraordinary career. For weeks, Freddie had been in a secret battle between his raw rock and roll energy and the disciplined grace of classical ballet. He had just 1 week to master what professionals spend their entire lives perfecting. But if we know anything about Freddie Mercury, it's that he never, ever backed down from a challenge. He was ready to give it everything, even if it pushed his body to its absolute limits. So, how on earth did this happen? Our story begins a few months earlier, in August 1979. Wayne Eagling, a principal dancer at the Royal Ballet, was desperately searching for a big name to headline their upcoming charity gala. His first choice was the ethereal Kate Bush, but when she gracefully declined, Eagling aimed for someone even more theatrical, more dramatic, more thready. When the offer reached him, Freddie was initially stunned. Dance with the Royal Ballet. I thought they were mad. He later laughed in an interview. But destiny, it seems, had a flair for the dramatic. The final push came from Sir Joseph Lockwood, the head of Freddie's record label EMI, who also happened to be the chairman of the Royal Ballet's board. Queen's former manager, John Reid, explained it perfectly. Freddie had always admired ballet, the grace, the precision, the drama. Lockwood really fired him up about it. The scale of it all was epic, and Freddie loved anything epic. And just like that, the stage was set for an unprecedented collision of worlds. Rock was about to meet ballet. Wayne Eagling still remembers their very first rehearsal with a smile. Freddie turned up wearing tights and ballet shoes, he recalled. We all took one look at him and nearly fainted. Of course, Freddie knew exactly how to make an entrance. He wasn't just dipping his toe in. He was diving in head first. The rehearsals were a spectacle in themselves. One day, while the group was practicing to Bohemian Rhapsody, the legendary choreographer Sir Frederick Ashton walked in. He looked around, curious, and asked Wayne, "What are you doing?" Then, his eyes landed on Freddie. He frowned. "And who is he?" Ashton boomed in his famous, sharp tone. A little flustered, Wayne replied, "He's a famous rock star." Sir Frederick gave Freddie a long, critical once-over, from head to toe, and declared, "Well, he's got terrible feet." The entire room fell silent, holding its breath. And then, Freddie erupted in laughter. He found it absolutely hilarious. Wayne later said, "Poor Freddie. He was actually trying so hard to point his toes properly, but he took it all in good humor. That was just him." But behind that good-natured laughter were hours of grueling, painful work. Despite his boundless energy on stage, Freddie quickly discovered that ballet was a different kind of beast altogether. In his own brutally honest words, "They actually thought I could dance. So they asked me to do this charity concert. Then I realized how hard it was. I appreciate their discipline and dedication a hell of a lot. It's a different kind of dedication than what I do. I don't think I could ever do it. It's like learning someone else's steps." He didn't hold back on the details of his suffering. "They had me practicing at the bar, stretching my legs, trying to do in 1 week what they'd been doing for years. It was murder. After 2 days, I was in agony. It was hurting me in places I didn't know I had, dear." That was pure Freddie, candid, funny, and utterly himself, even when completely out of his element. Then came the moment of truth. October 7th, 1979. The London Coliseum. The theater was packed to the rafters, with 2,500 people buzzing with curiosity. What would happen when the King of Queen met the Royal Ballet? As the orchestra swelled, Freddie made his grand entrance, dressed in an iconic white leotard and skin-tight black trousers. The crowd went wild. What they witnessed that night wasn't technical perfection. It wasn't the flawless pirouette of a lifelong dancer. It was something far more powerful. It was pure passion. It was Freddie Mercury, unleashed. He danced, he leaped, he twirled, and he sang live vocals for Bohemian Rhapsody and Crazy Little Thing Called Love. It wasn't textbook ballet, but it was 100% Freddie dramatic, bold, and utterly unforgettable. He didn't just perform, he captivated. He won over everyone in that room, from the rock fans to the ballet purists. Even the dancers, who were initially skeptical, were blown away by his sheer courage and infectious energy. He wasn't there to prove he could be a ballet dancer. He was there to prove that art has no rules, no boundaries, no limits. And that incredible night had another, more personal significance. Backstage, after the applause faded, Freddie met a young man named Peter Freestone, who was in charge of the Royal Ballet's wardrobe department. They struck up a conversation, and an instant connection was formed. Peter would go on to become Freddie's personal assistant and one of his closest. Most loyal friends staying by his side for the rest of his life. That single performance wasn't just a spectacle. It was the start of a beautiful, life-changing friendship. Looking back, Freddie's ballet debut was more than just a quirky career move. It was a perfect symbol of everything he stood for: boundless bravery, insatiable curiosity, and an unstoppable desire to express himself in every way imaginable. He wasn't afraid to look silly, to be a beginner, to step into a world that wasn't his own and embrace it completely. That was his magic. He lived without fear of judgment. When we talk about Freddie Mercury, we remember the voice, the charisma, the yellow jacket at Wembley. But it's moments like these that reveal the true depth of his character. His willingness to learn, to laugh at himself, and to throw his entire being into life with complete and total abandon. Freddie once famously said, "I'm not going to be one of those people who die wondering, what if? I'm going to say, I did it all." And he truly meant it. From the recording studio to the ballet stage, he showed the world that art is about expression, not perfection. And though his time with the Royal Ballet lasted only for one spectacular evening, its spirit continues to dance on. Because on that stage, under the glittering lights of the London Coliseum, Freddie Mercury didn't just sing, he soared. Thank you so much for watching and for remembering the incredible life of Freddie Mercury. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the lives of music legends. We'll see you in the next one.